Wizards of the Coast has released 1,000,000 Magic products a year for several years in a row, but today I'm going to convince you of all of the positives for this ridiculous release cycle. Let's talk about it. For the better part of the year, the Magic the Gathering community and enthusiasts like you and me have been up in arms over the rapid release cycle of Magic the Gathering products, and in 2022 alone, we averaged one product per month as far as a major release goes. This includes regular sets, remastered sets, commander, challenger decks, commander decks, whatever it might be. And that's before you consider Secret Lair, which we all know how many of those there were. But I want to challenge every Magic enthusiast out there today to put aside the obvious negatives, the things we think about this release cycle, and think, are there some positives to having all of these products released to the community all the time? And I've picked out three big ones that I think make a huge difference for not only Wizards of the Coast, but you and me as average enthusiasts. The first thing I want to talk about is probably the most controversial positive that I'm going to bring up today. That's right, I'm not going to make you wait till the end of the video. The second is what might be keeping Magic the Gathering and the community healthy at this moment. And the third and final positive I'm going to talk about is something you hear nobody ever talk about with Magic, but it is clearly and obviously there. So let's begin with the opportunity for you guys to disagree with me in the comments section. And the first positive I want to talk about is the fact that there's always something for everyone. Now, this really leans into the Wizards of the Coast fireside chat, where it was stated that not all products are for you. And I have underwent this giant project to gather the data from set releases and see how we're spending our money so that we can be smarter consumers. And that's more important now than ever. But the flip side of the argument of there's 1,000,000 products and I've got to buy them all, it's no matter how you choose to engage with Magic the Gathering, you'll always have an opportunity to pick something up. Magic is such a massive, go-wide community, and there's so many different ways for us to engage with our hobby, between the hundreds of viable formats to collecting to, yes, again, evil investors, whoever you might be. There's always something for the average enthusiast to look at and evaluate, hey, is this for me or not? Now, the flip side of this is, if you don't look at a product, if you treat Magic like it was back in the old day, back when us Magic boomers went down to the local game store and opened the single draft box by candlelight, then you are going to be, in for trouble unless you have very deep pockets. You are going to have to start picking and choosing which products you engage, which is why conversations like this and conversations in forums and everything are so important. Now, not only is there always something for everybody, but if we are smarter consumers, we will bring back some of that joy, right? We will always be able to engage in Magic in a way that we want. So that's a positive that I think we can take a negative and use what Wizards of the Coast has told us, how we're supposed to engage with these products, and really turn it into a positive. But another thing that's a big positive about the constant rapid release cycle of Wizards of the Coast and Magic the Gathering is what might be saving all of us right now from actually selling our collection. The YouTube comment section is always, I'm selling my collection, I'm out, I'm never playing Magic the Gathering again. And that big savior that we're seeing because of this rapid release cycle is it kind of sweeps the poop under the rug. Think about it, Magic 30th Anniversary Edition was not that long ago. The entire internet and community was up in arms and everything was horrible and they were reprinting the reserve list. But now we look back and we have Dominaria Remastered and we're all engaged in such an incredible experience that we've been able to kind of put that behind us and move on. And it's not just big events like Magic 30th where this matters. If we look at 2022, part of 2022's release schedule gave us Dominaria United, Streets of New Capenna, and Commander Baldur's Gate, all in a very small window. And for any smaller game, any other smaller community, that would have done serious damage to enthusiasts, to players, to investors ever. No matter how you engage, it would have done damage to you. But what did we get in the middle of all that kerfuffle? We got Double Masters 2022 to spike right in the middle of that, build up everyone's hype, inject a bunch of money into the community, get people playing with these sweet cards again, and it's almost like all was forgotten. It got us to break up all the negativity. So it creates this insulation for Magic the Gathering, for our community, and for Wizards of the Coast as a business to say, hey, as long as we're rapidly releasing products and something in there hits, we can keep this hype at an all-time high. This is dangerous if you start becoming one of those consumers who's like, oh, I'm going to pick and choose, and then you pick and choose wrong and you miss out on the good one. Ugh, that could be bad, but luckily with print cycles and the number of boxes printed, which later this week, I think that's the actual thing we need to be discussing, not the number of products, but the number of boxes printed. So yeah, you could miss out there. But the third positive that I want to break down today is something that weirdly, I never hear anyone talk about in the Magic the Gathering community. This is a topic in every other TCG I have played, and it is an important topic in every other TCG, and Wizards of the Coast manages to knock this out of the park, and it's often just ignored or even disliked by, you know, enthusiasts like you and me that have been around the hobby for some time. And that's the fact that there's something for new players at every time of the year. There's something where someone who just heard about Magic the Gathering can get excited about, get involved, and start slinging cardboard, start building a binder for new players 100% of the time, all year round. And because of this, Magic the Gathering has the biggest welcome mat of almost any TCG that I can imagine, just off the top of my head. This is a positive. This keeps our community growing. And because we go so wide, we're such a big community that we just talked about, it's important for us to have a number of players to play Pauper, to play our Commander Knights, to play Pioneer, to play, you know, for the 2 people out there to still play Standard, Draft, Limited, whatever it is. It's important for us to maintain this massive community that we've built. So these small sub-communities, these sub-enthusiast groups within our big community always have new people. And this rapid release cycle really supports the idea that there's something for everyone, for anyone who wants to get into Magic the Gathering at any given moment. There's something brand new for you. You don't have to reach back into the past, worry about what's coming next. You have something for you at all times. And this kind of gives us some of our, what we would think are crappier Magic products. There's always been a lot of intro packs and theme decks and weird stuff that maybe are, you know, kind of keyed towards new players and are super easy to understand. But I don't know, this is something that nobody in Magic talks about. Nobody really talks about the influx of new people and how Wizards does a great job, whether by the rapid release cycle or through some of these simpler products that really just aren't for ingrained enthusiasts like you and me. It's really interesting. I really think that these 3 things are massive positives. Now, don't get me wrong, before you destroy me in the comment section, I'm aware that we are printing too many boxes. And spoiler alert, my big brain take of 2023, I think Wizards is aware of it too. I just don't see that they would be unaware of it. I'm aware we're printing too many boxes. I'm aware there's a ton of SKUs and we could probably scale that back some, but it's not all doom and gloom. There are some big positives when you look at the big picture of our community to this ridiculous rapid release cycle. I hope you guys have some. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you have it in you, try to find a positive and tell me about what that positive is because of this release cycle. And if you don't have it in you, let me know the thing you dislike about the release cycle most. I'm racing to 5,000 subs. Again, we are climbing faster than I could have possibly imagined. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. And if you think about it, share this video with a friend or a community of friends, because these discussions to me are some of the most important things we can be doing at this time. Thank you so very much for watching. Until next time, you guys know me. My name is Josh, and I will see you around. Goodbye.